So when I got to the office, I sat on my computer. I couldn't feel anything. There was no pain. I got back home driving. I couldn't feel any pain. I slept as usual. I couldn't feel any pain.
It is time for you to bring your request for 2025 before the throne of grace. What is it that you are praying for? What is that situation you are seeking God for? Is it in marriage? Is it in finance? Is it in career? Is it in health? Bring your prayer request right now before God. I want you to write it down. Write it down right now as a symbolic action, because what you write down will be reflected in your testimony.
My name is Chiseche Lungu Kala. I live here in Zambia, Lusaka. I had cervical spondylosis. I had pain on my shoulder, on my left shoulder, due to a pinched nerve on my neck. So the pinched nerve on my neck was throwing the pain to my shoulder. So I had severe pain. My shoulder used to get heavy. My shoulder blade would pain inside. Every time I sat down, trying to work, I used to experience a lot of pain on my shoulder. Every time I tried to bend, I used to experience pain on my shoulder. So the pain continued. It started in April 2024. When I go for work, as I'm an accountant by profession, every time I sat in the office, I had pain on my shoulder. I would fidget as I was sitting, fidget due to the pain. Every time I was driving, I couldn't sit for long hours. Even just sitting for an hour was a lot of pain for me because my shoulder. So I went to different hospitals. I went to about 3 hospitals. They did x-rays. They gave me nerve medication, strong painkillers, but still to no avail. So I kept losing hope every single day. Every time I slept, I used to experience more pain. So the doctors advised me to sleep on my right because the shoulder pain was on the left. So I was asked to sleep on my right and put pillows to ease the pain. But every time I woke up in the morning, I was still the same pain. Then it gave me problems because I used to spend most of my days going for physiotherapy. I was given a letter to my employers to allow me to go for physiotherapy almost every other day. I used to do, the first session would be, I think it's radiotherapy or something, where they'll lie me down on the bed and try and put machines on my shoulder and on my neck to try and ease the pain on the nerves, on my muscles. Then the second session, I would go in that room. That's called a traction. They'll stretch my neck to try and ease the pain on the nerves on my neck. So that was giving a problem to my colleagues as well, because I spent most of my time going for physiotherapy. And every time I went for physiotherapy before I did the prayer request, when I asked the people in there, they would say they had that pain for more than 3 years. So I couldn't figure out myself living in pain. Since I have young kids, I couldn't stand. Every time I'm trying to cook, as long as I bend, I'd feel the pain on my neck. I'd feel the pain on my shoulder. So in November 2024, I decided to write a prayer request to Brother Chris, explaining what I was going through and the challenges I was facing. So he invited me to a Zoom prayers end of year service on 28th December. I was given a Zoom link, which I joined. The service was a very powerful anointed service, as it was end of year service. And I declared in that service that I would not want to go into 2025 in pain. When it was over, I continued as usual, read the Bible, meditate. So first week of January, as I was going for work, my husband was driving. So something reminded me like, look, you have no pain. So I felt myself, yes, I noticed I didn't have pain. I moved my shoulders, there was no pain. As I was seated, I couldn't feel any pain on my left side. So I told my husband, hey, it's like I don't have any pain. I can't feel anything. So I was like, okay, fine, let me get to the office. Let me sit in my position as usual and see if the pain is still there. So when I got to the office, I sat on my computer. I felt myself. I couldn't feel anything. There was no pain. I got back home driving. I couldn't feel any pain. I slept as usual. I couldn't feel any pain. There are certain positions when I sleep, like for example, if I sleep like this, I used to feel a lot of pain on my shoulder blades. I slept, there was no pain. So I told my husband the pain was not there. That was first week of January when I noticed I didn't have any pain at all. The pain had remained in 2024. That ended the long session of physiotherapy. I never went back again till today. I've actually been seated here, I think for more than 40 minutes. I'm not feeling anything. Previously, every time I sat, I would be fidgeting, try and moving my shoulders, trying to stretch so that I'm comfortable. But now I don't feel anything. Then every time I tried to nod my head, I used to feel pain on my neck, and then my shoulder would be painful. But now I don't feel anything. I was told to buy this to try and help me with my arm, but they still didn't work. I used to use this. It's called massage oil. I used to use the pain gel. I used to use this pain gel. Let me just remove it. I used to use this pain gel every day when sleeping to try and ease the pain. Then I used to take strong painkillers, stronger than diclofenac, to just ease the pain. But from January, nothing. In fact, from December, I've not taken any of those. Praise be to God. While I was still enjoying my healing, 1st February, I decided to join the interactive prayer service through YouTube. Brother Chris asked us to declare that we are anointed for favor. I had another challenge whereby I was not being promoted for a period of 16 years. So when he asked us to declare that we are anointed for favor, our careers are anointed for progress and promotion, I declare that in my heart, that indeed I am marked and I'm free. So the service ended, that was on 1st February. Due to the glory of God, in the same week, on 6th February, I received a call. I was called that I was supposed to pick up a letter for promotion. When I went to pick up the letter, is it on 7th February? I actually noticed that my letter was signed on 4th February, just 3 days after the interactive service with Brother Chris, where we were declared and marked for favor. And our careers were marked for divine progress and promotion. People of God, I was stagnant in my career for 16 years, same position. So now I'm promoted, my salary has increased, and I moved to a new job. My word of advice to the viewers is seek the kingdom of God first and its righteousness, then everything will be added unto you. Let's depend on God, for he is our only fortress in times of trouble. So if God can do it for me, he will do it for you as well.